Okay, so having done with the vlookup and then the hlookup, we want to look at one other feature which actually makes the vlookups and hlookups a little bit archaic, and that is the xlookup. I think that when you are used to the xlookup, you wouldn't necessarily go in for the vlookup. So, and then the hlookup. So, let's say I want to find. So as usual, you start typing xlookup, and then it has I think 6 criteria. The first three are mandatory. The second three are optional. So we want to look at the first three, and then later we look at the other three which are not mandatory. Okay, so we want to say look for a student called Kofi in this particular data. And mind you, this feature xlookup is available in the latest versions of the Microsoft Excel. I think anything earlier than 2016 and maybe even 2016, you may not find it there, but later versions of that. So I had to switch to my spreadsheet. Okay, that's my Google spreadsheet. So I want to say look for a student called Kofi, and then I want who is in the second criteria is lookup range. So a student called Kofi who is in this range, okay, of a column, um, and then output his information under the country column, okay, and I close and I output. Yeah, so it looks for Kofi. Output the country of in the will correspond to the name here is Niger, and I'm seeing Niger as you can also see here. So this would obviously make your VLOOKUP easy. So you don't have to go through the VLOOKUP to get this. I believe you are following. Likewise, you could say that look for XLOOKUP. Let's get this right. Uh, XLOOKUP, and then look for a student called Kofi who is in this range, and output his details under country, and also output the major subject he's been doing in school. So I select both of these and I close the yes, and it outputs both Niger and math. You see, so obviously these features make the use of XLOOKUP quite easy and interesting. Now let's look at the other one. Now aside all these, XLOOKUP, look for a student called Amma. I believe you can perhaps also select it, and then out who belongs to which range, this range, and then output um, her ID. Yes, yes. So output the details under her ID, and mind you, this one is at the left side of the the function you are building, unlike in your traditional VLOOKUP where you would have to move forward with your corresponding values when listing your functions. So let's close the parameter and let's see. Yes, so it's able to even pull out data that are behind your reference point. So that makes our VLOOKUP quite easy.